Welcome everyone to New Agent Phase 2 training. My name is Amy Edwards and I'm a Gold Consultant with Evolution and Archer Travel, and I will be hosting your training today. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question, or you can put it in the chat box. I'm also going to have a Q&A session after the training so I can be sure to answer all of your questions. So if you can go ahead and, if you haven't already, put your name, your team name, and how long you've been agent in the chat box. It does work best that you have completed the new agent orientation. It isn't a total requirement, but it is best if you have. I'm also going to post a recording of this video in the chat groups in case you want to review it, as well as any links and any documents that I am going to show you here today. So we are going to go ahead and get started then. Again, if you can't see anything, or if you can't see my screen, or if you can't hear me, go ahead and just raise your hand or place it in the chat box, as I will leave that open for you. So what we'll be covering today is how to launch your business, branding your business and finding your niche, advertising and marketing, continuing education, as a part of the continuing education, where to find recorded trainings, where to find vendor and supplier trainings, as well as kind of scheduling your time so that you don't become overwhelmed. And keep in mind, this is just a guideline. This isn't anything you have to follow strictly. It just kind of helps to keep you on a straight path and to keep you kind of moving forward each day. And this isn't any kind of requirement or any time frame. Remember, this is your business. So you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. We're always here to guide you and help you. And at any time you feel overwhelmed or you need more information or you just need some help, maybe getting back on track, always reach out to your mentor. If your mentor isn't available, contact your gold or your platinum leader and they can help you as well. So the first thing we're going to discuss is launching your business. So at the end of your new agent orientation, after it's completed, we would have showed you how to order business cards. You may already have them, you may not. Some people may print them, some people use flyers. Again, it's completely up to you. You will have registered with vendors and suppliers in the Rising Tide 3 webpage, which I'll show you in just a moment. There's a list of some suppliers that you should register with. There are over 133. Keep in mind, you do not need to register with all of them. And actually, we suggest that you don't. You would just be overwhelmed with information. So as you need a special supplier, let's say you have a request for maybe a trip via Amtrak across the US. Then you can go on and you can register with a supplier that you can get that quote from. The next thing after new agent orientation is we suggest everyone watch the Booking 101 training, which you're also going to find that in your welcome packet. But I have put a link here as well, and I'm going to go ahead and put that link in the chat box to help you out. All right, so the next thing to launch your business, you're going to use a script, and the script's going to be provided on risingtide3.com. So the website for risingtide3.com, again, you likely registered for this during your new agent orientation. If you haven't registered, please get with your mentor for the instructions on how to get registered with Rising Tide, because there is a ton of information on here and also a lot of trainings that are going to be very beneficial to you. All right, so to get to the scripts on how to post on your social media, and then launching your business is essentially posting on your social media accounts and letting people know that you're a travel agent, because the key to being successful is to make sure as many people as you can get the message to, that they know that you're a travel agent. So when they go to book travel, they will contact you and they'll remember that you're a travel agent. So not only do you have to announce that you're a travel agent, but you also have to remind everyone on your social media that you're a travel agent. Exactly, Amber. Networking, definitely. So I went ahead and put the link for this webpage in the chat box. So if you go to So Much More and you go to scripts, Here is the script that you're going to use to launch your business. Some people ask if they can edit this. Again, it's completely up to you, but this script has worked for a long time. And so I suggest not editing too much if you decide to edit. So you're going to post a photo of you holding your certificate or of just the certificate itself. And remember, as you learned in the New Agent Orientation, the IATA number down in that bottom corner, just put your finger over that or white it out using any kind of phone app that edits photos. And you're going to put this script on your social media account. Again, I am going to say Facebook a lot just because it's habit, but you can use any type of social media. And the more social media accounts you have, the better that you are going to, or the better results you're going to get. So here is the script. Breaking news. I'm excited to announce I'm now a certified home-based travel agent. It's going to go into a lot more detail, and it's going to announce that you can get them quotes and you can help them with any of their vacation needs. When you post this, you're going to have people responding to you. They're going to respond to inquiries. They're going to give you locations they'd love to go, and they're going to ask you to do quotes. What's really important is, and you'll learn this in your Booking 101, is how to qualify them. So you're going to learn what questions you have to ask each client to make sure that you can book their vacations properly. And getting this information all at once is ideal because you don't want to call them, get about 4 or 5 questions, go to try to do their quote, and then have to keep calling them back to ask them additional questions. Also be sure not to discuss their travel arrangements or joining your team on your wall. You always inbox or private message those details because those details are usually private and they should be held in confidence. So when they ask, you can get your sites up and prepared to give them a quote. You can also, which I tend to do until you're a little more experienced in getting quotes, give yourself 24 or 48 hours. Give yourself time to get with your mentor or to get with someone to help you do your first few quotes. And then you can start giving quotes right on the phone. Always ask for help. We're absolutely here if you need us. That is what we're here for. We want to help you. You're going to post this script and then you're going to give out quotes. And I found that my best form of training, sure, the Zoom trainings are great. The supplier and vendor trainings are great, but my best training was actually doing these quotes, actually hands-on being able to help someone. And it can be good. But there can also be a downfall that most of these people are probably going to be people that are close to you because you are on your personal social media. So they may be friends and family, and they tend to be a little more forgiving, especially if you remind them that you've just now became a travel agent and to have some patience. So here is the script you're going to use, and I put the link as well in the chat box. Again, while waiting for quote requests, because you may do 1 or 2, and then the post that you made may kind of go to the bottom of the news feeds. So while waiting to do quote requests, work on advertising and marketing yourselves in other areas. Be careful not to jump right into a bunch of trainings. I know a lot of new agents, they're just ready to train, which is great. I love the enthusiasm. But if you start doing all of the trainings in 1 or 2 days, all that information is going to get confusing and it's going to start overlapping and you're not going to remember where you learned something at. So we don't want you to get overwhelmed. We don't want you to feel like you have too much information or maybe this isn't right for you. So what you'll need to do, Catherine, that's okay if you're a little late. We are going to post this recording as well so you can watch the beginning, but we are just on our first slides. So while waiting for additional quote requests, work on advertising and marketing yourself because again, you want to remind everyone that you are a travel agent. And I always give reminders to take mental breaks and don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed and learn in moderation. So again, a lot of people ask this question. It is gone over in the New Agent Orientation, but a question I'm asked a lot is which vendors and suppliers should I register with first? And on the Rising Tide 3 website under Travel and Phase 1, if you scroll down just a little bit, it's going to say the suggested list of vendors to start with. Here is a great list. I probably have 90% of my bookings from this list. So just a small tidbit of information for you there. All right, the next thing I'm going to discuss is branding your business or finding your niche. So branding your business is super important because that's where you're going to create your logo. And again, logos can be created free in Canva, or you can talk to a digital designer. And you can even ask in the chat groups because a lot of people really love digital designing. And so they will help you to create a logo. Sometimes they're free. Sometimes when others help you, they charge a small price. I think when I first started my first logo, I paid like $30 to get business cards, a logo, and then like a Facebook banner. So super, super affordable. A great training, and again, I'm going to put it in the chat box, Amy Cabrera did was on branding your business. And so the Cabreras, amazing trainers. I really love Amy's trainings. And this one I think is super important because she shows you how to brand your business, how to create your logo, how to put your name out there, and how to make sure you put your logo on everything. A good example she gives is when you see the McDonald's symbol and you see those golden arches, you immediately know it's McDonald's. You could see those golden arches on a Taco Bell symbol and know immediately that it's out of place. So you want to make sure people know who you are from your logos. Canva, yes. And on that branding your business, I put that link in the chat box, this link here. On her training, she shows you how to go into Canva and find those logos that you can design. And they do have some samples in there that you can use and just type in your name. The next thing that's important, and again, not required, is finding your niche. And this is your specialty. And 5 really good ways to knock out your niche is to identify your interest and your passions. Identify problems you can solve, research your competition, determine the profitability of your niche, and test your idea. Catherine said she made hers in Photoshop. Thank you. Yes, Photoshop is another program you can use for your logos. So finding your niche. Identify your interest and passion. So I'm going to use a really easy one. A lot of people love Disney. And so a lot of people specialize in Disney vacations. And even though you specialize in Disney, you can still book a lot of other vacations, but your main focus is going to be at Disney. And some people narrow it down even further. Some people specialize in Disney weddings. Some people specialize just in Disney cruises. It can be so many things. You could specialize in just the Caribbean. You could specialize in a location. Maybe your specialization is Punta Cana. Maybe that's where, you've been there a ton, you know a lot about it. And so you want to specialize and advertise. It's completely up to you. Identify problems you can solve. So you've been there before. You know the ins and outs and you know how to plan. So even if you specialize in Disney, if you haven't been there, that's okay. You are going to focus on that Disney training and you are going to work towards your goal of going to Disney. Research your competition. Now, I can tell you, when you start researching travel and you start researching Disney, your social media is going to make it look like the only people in your area are travel agents, and it's going to get a little overwhelming. So that's what your social media does. It takes your search history, it takes anything that you look for or anything that you read into, and it wants to conform it to you. It wants to help you. So everything in your social media are going to be all of these ads from Disney. So it's going to be travel agents. It's going to be anything that you can think of. Now, keep in mind, even though that happens, that doesn't mean that these travel agents are right next to you or knocking on your door. So when you research your competition, even if there's a local travel company in your area, that doesn't mean that you are in strict competition with them. Maybe if 4 neighbors on your block are all travel agents to Disney, maybe that's a little bit of competition, but you have to remember the online community. And the online community, even though I personally live in Michigan, but I sell a lot of my vacations to people from Texas, as an example. I have a few Facebook groups, and so they're mainly based out of Texas. So I'm sure there are a lot of travel agencies in Texas. I'm sure there are a lot of places they can go. But I was the one that they found, and I was the one that worked with them and helped them. So now they remember who I am. Determine the profitability of your niche. Now, this one is pretty easy because you are doing vacations, you are doing travel, so you kind of know the profit in the area. And always remember that what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. So a lot of people, after a couple of months, I'll use this example first. So, you know, you get that 10-day money back guarantee. So in their first 10 days, some people will come to me and they'll say, I haven't booked a single vacation. I haven't made any commissions. I need to cancel. This just isn't working out for me. I'm not going to make any money. And so I always go to them and I say, well, where did you advertise? Where did you post? Where did you launch your business? Let me see the post where you launched your business. And most of the time they'll say, I didn't have time to do that. I didn't have time to get a business card. I was so busy. My kids just started school. So I didn't have time to really make any posts. You know, and I'm kind of sitting back thinking, geez, where did you think that money was going to come from? Where did you think you were going to book a vacation? You know, you might have booked one night for yourself at a hotel, and that's great. If you book one night, you know, 12 times a year, that's going to start building you up. So even people who've been in it a couple of months, you know, they kind of say the same thing. And don't get me wrong, sometimes people, you know, they post like crazy, they're on social media and they're just not getting the feedback that they'd like. And I completely understand that. But if that starts happening, you have to change something. So you're going to have to go back to your trainings. You're going to have to ask other agents, like, look, this is what I've been doing. Something might be wrong. Can you check my social media? You know, I've done that once and I went to go check on somebody's social media account and all of their posts were private. So I'm like, okay, we're not friends on Facebook. I'm going to look at your social media and I can't see anything. So now you've limited all of your posts to only your specific friends on social media. And so you have to make sure that your posts are open for everyone to see. And then test your idea. So here we are, we're testing it, we've signed up. We're asking our peers, we are making sure that everything that we are doing is correct. Lori asked, after the College of Disney Knowledge, do you get a certificate to post and what shows you're specialized? Yes. After you have completed it, you do get a certificate and you get a lot of other little tidbits. I think with Disney as well, but I know with a lot of the cruise lines, they give you like a special email signature that you can use that shows you are specialized in that cruise line. So you get a lot of things after you complete the different supplier trainings. Great question. So any questions on branding or finding your niche? I think that's really important. And make sure, even though you're a part of Evolution and Archer Travel, you don't want to advertise a whole lot of Evolution and Archer Travel because you don't want people to go in and Google Archer Travel and then be clicking around and find a travel agent elsewhere. You want to Google your name or your business name, whichever you decided to use. So I know that your business cards say an affiliate of, and that's perfectly fine because all over everywhere else is going to be your email, your phone number, and your name. All right, so for Facebook business, advertising and marketing is next. So the one thing that I suggest that everyone do is to sign or make a Facebook page, a business page. Now that is super easy. And I'm going to go in here and just kind of show you really quickly how easy that is. So I'm going to open up my personal Facebook page. I'm going to go over here to pages and you can see that some of them I've already done and created. Right here to create a new page. All it's going to ask you is your page name, which is going to be your business name. So I already have one, but I'm going to just type it in. So Sunset Dreams Travel. My category. I can just put in travel and transportation or just travel company, travel service, whatever you want to select. And then a short description. What is it about your business? What services do you provide? Or the purpose of your page. And you're going to give just a short bio. You can Google if you're not good at doing these. You can go to other people's travel agent pages and you can kind of see what they use and go off of that. But you know, it's your personal bio. And it could be the same thing that you use on your Evo website. Once you put that in, you click OK. It asks you to put a cover photo and a profile picture, and then boom, you have your page. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my page. All right, so I have my cover photo, which I used on my logo that I had created. I have my profile photo, and it's important that, and you'll learn this in the training, let me click back here and get you that link, because we do have a training on creating a Facebook business page, connecting with BranchUp, which I'm going to show you what that is, as well as creating a Google business page. And those are all really important and all free, which is the best part of it all, that it's free. So as I was saying, your profile picture, that should be a picture of you. That should not be like a cartoon or a palm tree. It should be something to create that personalization between your client or your potential client and yourself. So as you scroll down here through my page, you are going to see that I have a post here and it's published by BranchUp. So BranchUp is a free service to travel agents that links to your business page. So it has to be your business page. It cannot be your personal page. So just like I showed you how to create a page, that's how you do it. So in here, it's going to say, or on this particular photo, and it posts, I believe, once a day, sometimes twice. Travel blog, plan a multi-generational and or celebration cruise now. And here's a nice photo it gives. Go down just a little bit further. Here, who says there are no hot spots in Canada in the winter? Not British Columbia's Radium Hot Springs in the, sorry if I say this wrong, the Kootenay National Park. So it gives kind of a photo and a little description, and I can actually edit this description any way that I want. So I can go in at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month, and I can see all of the posts that BranchUp's going to post, and I can add in my information, which I probably should do, and I can make it where it says, contact me today to book, or I can put in here, if you have a Jot form or a Google form to qualify your client, you can put in a link that says, click here to give me all the information to get a quote. So it's really, really nice about BranchUp. Another thing I want to show you is, you see how this one has a link to it? If I click that link, and some of them are links for specials. So BranchUp is ran by Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. And so a lot of their links and their specials are for those cruise lines. So as you can see, I'm on this BranchUp page, I'm on this landing page. And look at over here on the left. It has all of my personal information here. They can message me, they can call me, they can go to my website. Anytime that they want a quote, all they have to do is click there. And this brings them right back to me, which is really amazing, and a completely free service. And that training is going to walk you through how to set up your BranchUp account. I'm going to go ahead and log into mine. I hope that I remember the password here. Oh, I probably just did it with Facebook. Okay, here, yes. All right, so here I'm in the BranchUp, kind of my BranchUp page. And so I can view all of the upcoming posts. So the next post is going to be on Thursday, September 9th at 7:09 p.m. It's going to be this photo, and it's going to say, a Jamaican vacation needs to be done slowly. Now, my options are I can reschedule that post. Maybe I want to put that on a Saturday morning. I can edit the text in any way. So as I said, I can go here, I can space down a little bit and I can say, contact me today for an amazing Jamaican vacation. Or I can post it now, or I can remove it entirely if I don't like the post. Completely up to you. You can edit any way that you like to edit. All right, so let's go back to here. And your Google business page. So a Google business page is really important. Your Google business page is going to, it's completely free of charge. And it's going to allow people that search for travel agencies in your area to see you immediately. So when I Google Sunset Dreams Travel, here it is, open 24 hours. Here's my phone number. I'm not open 24 hours, but how many times do you see a business closed and not even contact them? So this is just a little tidbit I learned from Nikki Lee to make sure I stand out from the others. I can see my Facebook page. I can create ads. The more photos that I connect to here and the more reviews that I have, the more my information is going to be at the top of the search. So I always make sure I add posts and I add photos to make sure I keep refreshing that. And as you can see, images for Sunset Dreams Travel. Here it is. Here I am, and here I am. With the Google, your business Google page, what you do is you get registered for them, and you'll learn this in the training. They're going to send you a postcard to your address just to make sure that you're valid. On that postcard, there's going to be a code. You're going to put that code into your Google page, and then it's going to activate that listing for you. Another great way to market, and these are just a few ideas. Vax, you can set up a FunJet agent link. So let me go over to Vax really quick. All right, so I'm going to go to suppliers here and I'm going to go to FunJet. I remember Vax is the one where you have to fill out a supplier request form. So some of you may not have access yet. It takes 4 to 7 days, but you'll get access. All right, so you can go to Agent Tools. I believe it's under the agency website. And you can enroll now. So you can create your own marketing through Vax and FunJet. A Disney travel agent page. So let me go to Disney travel agents. I'll go ahead and close some of these down. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign into Disney. And with Disney, you get instant access when you register with them. Make sure you're using your travel cafe for information on how to register, how to call, and how to book with any supplier event. So with Disney travel agents, so on this account, I haven't completed my College of Disney Knowledge. Somebody asked how they could print that. So once you go into your College of Disney Knowledge, if it is completed and everything is all set, you've passed everything, it's going to say to view your certificate and you're going to be able to view and print that certificate. You have your marketing tools. So you have a Disney site builder as well as an e-brochure. You can create e-brochures here. A Disney Travel Professionals Facebook page. All of Disney advertising are going to be right in here. Social media trainings on Rising Tide 3 website. So on the Rising Tide 3 website under travel, phase 2 and training videos. These are both places you can find recorded training videos that are going to help you tremendously. On the training videos, there are a lot of social media trainings, and some of these do need to be updated. We work a little bit to update them, but you have setting up advanced social media for clients. Let's see, here's how to make a business Google listing, which I give you that already in the chat box. Let's see, setting up branch up. I give you the updated one in the chat box as well. Let's see, social media, how to make a Facebook post and a Craigslist ad. So all of these trainings are here to help you to advertise and to market yourself on social media. The next thing, you can build a website, and a really great place to build a website is what I found, and there are many places, you can do it through Google as well, is Ionos.com. And for $1 to $5, depending on what you want your website or your domain name to be, you can have a website domain and it'll last for a whole year. You can also pay if you'd like. I think it's $10 a month to have a professional email attached, but that is not required at all. So, when I say professional email, whatever your domain name is what your @ name for your email is going to be. But it isn't required. You can use Gmail still and have a website. That's not a big deal at all. You can actually program your website to go to send emails to your Gmail. Ionos, I think, is really nice because people that don't know how to make a website, it is really just point and click. So it gives you some sample ones, and then it asks you if you want to change the color or if you want to change the wording. And it really is, you just click, edit the words, click, edit the words, and then you publish at the end. Ionos is also really helpful because they advertise like on Google, on Yelp, on Yahoo. However much you want them to do, they will help you do. And you have one person in support that you call and talk to, and they get to know you. So the person I have at Ionos, he calls me about once a month, and I actually did the $12 a month to boost my marketing to where Ionos takes care of advertising for me as well. So I do get a lot more visitors to my Google site and to my website because Ionos does that for me, and they do that whole SEO, the search engine optimization. I'm not a builder. I understand the internet. I understand how it works. I don't understand the technical aspects of it. And even sometimes when I'm talking to them, I have to remind them, like, you are talking Spanish to me. I have no idea what you're saying. But how about if you just tell me in shorter terms how it works and what I can gain? And that's exactly what he does. So it's really, really helpful. Another thing that helps you is to get those 5-star reviews. So when you're just starting out, you don't have any clients yet. You know, a lot of times when people go to a website or they go to your Facebook page, they're looking at reviews first. And so you can ask other travel agents to leave you reviews, especially on your team or your mentor, because, you know, I don't want to ask for a bunch of fake reviews. You know, I'm not saying that at all, but we've worked together. We know each other. Catherine, I have seen you on every training I've been on this week. It's been amazing, and some other names I have as well. So I know that you're dedicated, and I know when somebody reaches out to you, you are going to call them back. And so I'm going to help to leave you a review, and I'm going to talk about your dedication and your accountability in that review, and to help boost you up to get your first, you know, maybe 4 or 5 reviews until you can get a client booked and on their trip and back to give you those reviews. Continuing on advertising and marketing. So a lot of you have heard about the Facebook algorithm, and actually every social media platform has those algorithms, and they love to change it up. So they can change it every day, they can change it every week, but they always love to change it up. And you never know what's going to happen next. You just know all of a sudden you're not getting the interaction that you were getting. When you've seen here on my Facebook, you can see that, when did this post? 3 hours ago. So I have 0 people reached. So you can tell that yesterday I didn't post any engagement post. So that knocked me down to the bottom of the news feeds. But you can see the other ones here, like this one has 63 people and 6 engagements. That's really good. Funny thing about it is it's all snow. So that's really interesting. You know, people typically do like the beaches and the fun energy scenes. But when I see that start to fall, I start to question, what did I do or what didn't I do? So another training that Courtney does is setting up your Facebook. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that link. You probably already have it, but I'm going to go ahead and put that link here in the chat box. You should have it in your welcome packet as well. So what this does is this shows the 421 posting method. So each day, and I know this sounds like a lot, and it doesn't have to be each day, but there are a lot of apps that will do this for you as well. You have Canva is a good one. Hootsuite is another one, and they'll automatically post on your social media accounts. BranchUp is helping you already because they're posting. So you want to do 4 non-travel related engagement posts. And where do you get those, or where do you get ideas? I just go to Google. So I do social media engagement posts. I'm going to go right to the images. And here are going to be a ton. These are the ones that work really good. The which would you choose? Or do you like pineapple on your pizza? That's a really good one. Or let's see a few others. Let me change this a little bit. Let's do memes. They want to teach me how to do it, which is great, but I'm going to show you memes. If you could change careers for just 1 week, what would you do? People are going to answer that. You know, they're going to know that right on the tip of their tongue, especially if it's on a Monday and they've spent all day working. This is a good one. What's the strangest thing in your purse right now? That one always gets quite a few reactions. And I'm sure you guys have done them. And you guys have posted on them too. A good one is it'll put like those ice pops, and it'll do red, yellow, green, and purple. And which one did you have to have as a kid? You know, and you see how many people like the red or the yellow or the green. Let's see. You know, anything not travel related. So these could be really good. You can do even inspirational ones. Here's one that says interactive memes. Those are really the ones you want, because the more people that comment on your memes, the more likes you get, and not just the thumbs up. All the other ones are what boost your algorithm. And then not only when they comment, but when you respond. So you have to respond to them. If they say, let's see, if you could change careers for just 1 week, what would you do? Well, ideally, you wish you would have somebody say be a travel agent, because then you can reply with, holy cow, I have the perfect position for you. But let's say somebody says, I want to work at an animal shelter. And you can say, oh my gosh, I would love to see all the new puppies that come in, you know, or that would be so much fun. You're boosting your algorithm. So you're going to be able to see more of their post, and they're going to be seeing more of your post, because it's going to be at the top of their news feed, because now they've interacted with you. The second part to that is going to be 2 travel related posts. So just like I Googled social media engagement memes, let's see. How about we'll just put travel in there somewhere, so they can give us some travel ones. So let's see. We aren't going to put engagement here. We're going to put travel. Of course, when I'm searching it, I can't find any, right? There's a few of them, and it'll say, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Like this one. If you could choose between the love of your life or traveling the world, which country would you go to first? So it's automatically implying what you're going to choose. And now it's asking, which country would you go to first? So you'll need 2 of those. And again, those work really well, because when they start posting where they would go, you can say, hey, if you ever want to quote, get a hold of me, you know, or I've been there. It's so nice. They have some great deals going on right now. And then, of course, you have one hard sale post. And so if you're team building, your hard sale post is going to be your post to get people to come to the presentation to become a travel agent. Or for just travel, you're going to, it kind of brings me to the next section, which is mock bookings. And this one, I'm going to post, we have a lot of trainings and mock bookings, and I noticed we have quite a few coming up this month. But these are really key. And what mock bookings are is basically sales ads. And they are telling people what you have going on and for how much they can go for. So your hard sale post is going to be your mock booking or something special that you have going on. Another one is going to be Disney's 50th anniversary is coming up starting 10/1. The next page here, I have one that I created recently. So when I logged into Vax, excuse me, one of the specials that were scrolling across the screen were Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. And they're starting from $149 a person. You know, it says in here based on an occupancy of 4. Here are my details, and then here are details as well. You can pick out of here any of the details that you want to give. And then they give you an amazing photo to use already. So what I did is I used that and I just jumped over to Canva really quickly, and I am no designer. So I jumped over to Canva, I did a flyer, I used this photo, I put it into the bottom of the flyer, and I made sure that there's no contact information on here other than Universal Studios. I made sure there was nothing on here that said like Vax Vacation Access or anything like that. At the top of that flyer, I put in a spider web. I think I just typed in Halloween photos. So I added a spider web and kind of the moon with the orange clouds. And then I put contact me to plan your spooky vacation, my contact information, and then my logo. I'm not happy with my logo there, but I got to make sure that I have it on there. Again, I'm no digital designer. Probably a designer maybe would have put it here in the middle of the moon. I'm not really sure. But this I can post on social media now. And then the more that I've interacted this week, the more on top of those news feeds that I'll be. And so in Canva, you can make this into an Instagram photo. So it's a perfect size. You can make this into a Facebook photo post. Anything you want to make this into, you can do that. So that's why these mock bookings are super important. I know a lot of people get pretty nervous, but don't be too nervous, because when you do starting from 149, of course, when you book somebody, you want to be close to that. But maybe you could say, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. That room sold out, but I can get you another really great special, and you can give them the total. But it always says starting from. So you're not holding, like if you go to your grocery store and they do a misprint in the newspaper, put bread at 50 cents when it should have been $5.50. You're not held to that amount. All right. So I'm more on the advertising and marketing, Facebook groups. So I always encourage people to join as many as you can, but don't join too many. So typically about 5 or so a day, try to join some Facebook groups. And in the next slide, or the 1 or 2 slides, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. You can take a screenshot so that you know which ones to join. So if it's just for travel, that's fine, or it works both ways for travel and if you're team building. So once you start joining those groups, you also want to post in those groups. So you can post just that you're a travel agent. You can post that you have a special. You can post that you're looking to add travel agents to your team, or you can post that mock booking that I just showed you. Typically, you should post in 5 to 6 groups 3 times a day. So morning, noon, and night. Now, if you do this on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and you have so many quotes you don't know what to do with, don't post as much. But you'll find what groups, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat, are going to give you the best responses. Make sure you read the group's rules. Some of them say you can't market yourself. That's okay. You can still add yourself. And just like you should be joining groups, you should be sending out friend requests, especially to people who are traveling, who have traveled recently, who are discussing travel. Even if they decline your request, that's okay. Go in and start requesting people. To keep your algorithm active though, Try not to do more than 10 friend requests a day. And then people who don't accept your friend request in a day or two, go ahead and delete them. Just because the more you leave them just set there, even people who friend request you, it's best to delete them because it bumps your algorithm to the bottom if you're not responding to those or if people aren't accepting your friend request. And again, just be careful, do it in moderation so that you're not put into Facebook jail. Some examples of social media platforms that you can use. Facebook, of course, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Clubhouse. There are a ton more, but those are just some examples. And I always tend to watch what my kids are doing. And I, if I hear of a new social media platform, I kind of have them show it to me and I ask what the heck's going on with it, and what they do in there. The funny thing is I watched an ad on TikTok recently and it said, with all the kids going back to school, TikTok has kind of turned into like a mom and dad talk. And so TikTok gets a lot of interaction right now. And that's one that you're going to definitely want to learn to be on. We do have a really good recorded training on TikTok. So look that up and start, maybe do a new one every couple of weeks so that you're not overwhelming yourself. And like I said, with this Hootsuite or with Canva, those automatic posts, they post to these at the same time. So you can have it go to your Facebook, to your LinkedIn, to your TikTok, to your Instagram, and to your Clubhouse account. Although I believe, I haven't used Clubhouse yet. I think that's videos only, kind of like TikTok. Now, if you aren't a big fan of social media, and that's fine too, you just have to be a little more creative, think outside the box. Billboards, whether they be small or large, completely up to you. Grocery store bulletin boards or gas station bulletin boards, or maybe the library, laundromats. You can put out flyers. You can take your business cards or your flyers and you can put them in like the books at Barnes and Noble, maybe just a couple books. Don't overdo it. Sometimes you can ask to leave them on their counter. You can also put it in the luggage, maybe at your local Walmart, or again, ask to leave them on your grocery store counter. It's completely up to you. Even if maybe you're traveling, you're taking a road trip, you can leave a couple maybe in the restrooms or at the truck stops or the places that you stop. Some people, even they've suggested on the top of the gas tanks. So it's completely up to you without littering, of course. And then here are a few examples of groups to post in on Facebook. These are really limitless. This is just a sample one. And I think it's about a year old, but you can get creative here whenever you see it in parentheses, like a city social exchange. I know one that's used a lot is like Las Vegas social exchange. You can do Detroit social exchange. And even if Detroit social exchange didn't pop up, it's going to show you something close to that. So when you search the groups and you start being involved in groups, you're going to see similar groups that they suggest for you. And that's going to help you out as well. Another one is the state or vacation destinations. So Hawaii travel tips, or Grand Canyon travel tips, or Disney travel tips, things like that. And even if you can't post in those, that's okay. What you can do is if somebody gets on there and says, oh my gosh, I need help, I'm trying to book a vacation to Disney and I'm lost, you are going to quick send them a friend request. Sometimes there are rules against that. But if you don't friend request 100 people, you're probably okay. Also, here are some things also to keep your algorithm active. So join in 3 Facebook and Instagram groups per day. Add 20 friends on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn daily. 20 I'm a little careful with. 10 to 15 is usually where I stick. Comment on 10 to 20 Facebook and Insta posts per day. So it's really important that you're commenting on other people's so that they're seeing your information as well. The more you interact with someone, the more you're going to be on their news feed. Post on your story 4 times a day. Posting on your story, people always forget. And let me tell you, I can get 10 people to see my post and 150 people to see my story. Whether they interact or not, or whether they hurry and click through it, it's still 200 people that's passed through. Hand out your business cards to 10 people a day, anywhere that you go. Post 1 to 3 mock bookings or advertisements to share in 10 groups per day. Get 200 or more likes on your Facebook page, your Instagram, or your other social media pages. Get on 5 live webinar trainings this week and complete 2 specialist certifications per week. These last 2 are a lot for newbies. So be careful again, don't overdo it. Don't feel like this is something that you have to do, but you can reduce this. So even if it's not this week, maybe over the course of 10 to 14 days. All right, so now out of the advertising and social media marketing, trainings are really important. But again, your focus needs to be on letting the world know that you're a travel agent and reminding them so that you can get those quotes out and you can make those commissions. But you also want to update yourself with training. So only as you have time, even if you can only do 1 or 2 a week, perfectly fine. Some of them you can't watch. So when I first started, I couldn't watch the trainings on Zoom, but what I did is I put one earbud in and I would listen. And what I love to do is listen in on the Q&As, because I can't even tell you how many answers I got to questions that I had and didn't know I had. Like, people would get on there and ask a million questions, and I know you guys hear me say this over and over again, but the Q&A trainings help me the most. Even if I don't have a question, I just get on there and listen. So where do you find additional trainings? So again, only begin to train in your spare time. Rising Tide recording trainings and schedules. So I told you where the trainings are in the travel, the phase 2, the training videos. Any perks for any supplier and vendor trainings that are going to give out your best perks are going to be under the TA perks. So here those are. And this is for your free cruise. It's going to walk you through. One thing that I want to make sure you know, and I don't mean to back up a little bit, but I almost forgot this. On YouTube, Marnie Hernandez does trainings twice a week, and she walks you through getting certified with each supplier. So if you maybe don't have time, or you're having trouble and you're stuck on one of those supplier quizzes and you can't get through to it, here is her YouTube. Follow her on YouTube, subscribe. And she has a ton of information on here. She earns her Disney cruise certification and she walks you through how to do that. Puerto Vallarta. Let's see. She has a ton on here. Marriott certifications. There's just a ton on here that she walks you through how to go to and how to get certified. Let's see. And just like those recorded trainings, you can get to the live training schedule. And I apologize, sometimes these links are a little mixed up. But I think if I click here, I can see the entire September schedule. Again, I'm going to close some things. Yes. All right. So here is the entire September schedule of trainings. So I can schedule my week, or I can schedule my day by knowing exactly what trainings are going to be on that day. Now, these are for Rising Tide. Most of us are in World Explorers, so we have a few other trainings that are just held with our team. And there's an array of reasons why. It's not that we're separate from Rising Tide, but it's just that we have some new people who are just starting out training, and so we're practicing it with our teams. Team building is kept team specific. You kind of keep our secrets and our successes in our team for team building, and a lot of teams do that. So we don't share those trainings, but once we start to have success with trainings, and if there's time in the Rising Tide calendar, then you'll see a lot of those trainings as well. And as you can see, you can't see the Zoom numbers here, but what you can do is go back to this Rising Tide and you can match up the training to the flyer, be able to see what Zoom number and who's doing the training. You also get that daily schedule in Facebook Messenger, so you can use that to see if there's a specific training that you want to be in on. Again, I showed you where Marnie's YouTube page was. A lot of the gold and the platinum leaders, they have their own YouTube pages. So when you see a training post in the chat group and you open up that training, you can start start to subscribe to those leaders so that you know when they post a new training. Booking training. So the Booking 101, which I already put the link for in a few slides back. You have your quotes are an amazing training tool. I learned so much from quotes, and I still every day learn from quotes. You have the daily Q&A trainings, which I already discussed. Supplier and vendor trainings. I want to point out that they are not required to begin booking. So if you want to start booking with Disney today, you can. You do not have to do the College of Disney Knowledge to start booking with them. It's just a helpful tool that they have to get familiar and to get confident and comfortable with booking travel with them. And then the other two that I really like is the Travel Agent Academy and Travel Agent University. I'm going to go ahead and get you a link to those. Excuse me. So these are specialized trainings, and they're really nice because, let me bring up one here. They're really nice because they have such a variety of trainings. So you can learn by destination, you can get certificates. A lot of times in the announcements, some of them will say earn, oh, right here, Aruba Certified Expert Program in April or May to be entered to win a $100 gift card. I know that we had one agent who took like 10 trainings in 10 days or something like that. And so randomly in the mail, he got a $50 Visa gift card. You know, so they do have a lot of perks for taking their trainings, and you can search by featured, by destination. You can do cruises, tours, luxury, services. You can do any of these trainings completely free of charge. So you have Travel Agent Academy as well as Travel Agent University, and they're a lot alike, and they have a lot of amazing trainings. Again, you don't have to pay for any of these trainings, and you do get certifications so that you can build up your portfolio. And then one last slide here. We're going to discuss scheduling your time, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. We're running a few minutes over, but we should be okay here. So taking advantage of the new agent planner pages, they should have come in your welcome packet. If they did not, I'm going to go ahead and post them in the team chats after training. Jennifer Birds did an amazing job in creating a new agent planner pages, and they're unique to a travel agent and to Evolution because they have a lot of information and a lot of stuff that you can do outside of doing quotes. So I really like her setup. And again, I will put that in the chat groups with you, a link in case you don't have it. Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer did a really great job. You have that daily training schedule we discussed that's posted in the chat groups, flyers and the schedule on Rising Tide 3, which I showed you. So just kind of a sample schedule or an outline to follow as a new agent. You want to make sure that you make and track your goals. And whether this is daily or weekly is up to you. I always suggest daily, but you know, a lot of people have jobs still. They're still working full time. And if you're doing this part-time, you got to be careful not to overload yourself. And always in the back of your mind, and I'll always say this, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of this as well. So even if you have a full-time job, you can only do a couple hours a week, just know that your return is going to come a little slower than someone who can do this for 40 hours. Checking your emails and voicemails, read and respond to those. Process any quote requests and call on any open requests. So make sure you're calling people. You don't want to just send them a quote via email and ignore them because maybe they don't know how to read it. Maybe they're not understanding something on it, or maybe they forgot they asked you for a quote and they just haven't opened it. So you want to make sure that you give them a shout out and kind of light a little fire under them. Create those mock booking ads and post those. You can track activity on your current ads. You can track, when you post those mock bookings. You're going to know that if you post into a group and you posted Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and not one person has liked or commented, maybe you don't want to post in that group so much. You want to put your focus to a different group. Advertise, post 3 times a day in 5 to 6 groups at least. Use that 4-to-1 social media posting method check your daily training schedules and attend when you can and what you can. And know that there are recordings that you can attend later as well. And always remember, my favorite quote that my dad always used to tell me, and I should credit this to somebody, I should Google it and see how I should. But today is the first day of the rest of your life, so make it count. And a lot of people say that. I know it's not my dad's quote as much as I'd like to think it is. He always reminds us of this though. So today is the first day of the rest of your life. Please make sure you make it count. Try to make sure you're productive. I always feel better when I make a schedule, I stick to it. At the end of the day, I can mark some things off my list. I always make sure I have attainable goals as well so that I can check them off and I don't get discouraged. So thank you for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Q&A, and then I am going to answer any questions you may have. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and stop the share.